Are there any other reflections on that task? Feelings? Experiences?
Suzanne. Yeah, I just felt the same as Fiona. It made my mind not wander. However, it's sort of funny because my kids always say I switch off, so I can easily switch off to whatever's happening in the background. So I wonder, yeah, I don't know. It's just weird that I do that. I was just sort of thinking, oh, well, maybe I switch off, but I'm thinking at the same time when I'm switched off, whereas my mind's probably going at 100 miles an hour, and probably I need to be switching off but doing counting. I don't know. Anyway, they just say,
It would
"Mum,
real
where do you go?" And I say, "Well, I don't know. I just didn't hear you." Like I don't know. I've had I'm very good at switching off.
it would really depend on what you're doing, right? There is this talk amongst both, theologians as well as practitioners, about this idea called the flow state, which is a very interesting thing. Ultimately, it's sort of a state of extreme concentration whereby you tend to lose track of time, but you're also completing a task quite thoroughly with great attention to detail and being quite dutiful. Um, Now, the flow state's interesting. It would indicate that you are being wholly attentive to one task. So in that sense, other people in your environment and around you would acknowledge or observe you to be ignoring them or to be switched off. And that's quite possible. Um, this state's not super common. So what tends to be the case is that when people look at you and observe something like being switched off, it might very well be the sense that you're just distracted by whatever is going on in your mind or around you or in front of you. And it could be even that you're making a conscious decision not to listen to the activity in the room. Um, and something very interesting about that is that the more you struggle, and this is an acceptance commitment therapy technique or idea, the more you struggle with something in terms of do not think about X, do not think about the pink elephant, do not think about chocolate ice cream, do not think about the screaming kids in the background. The more you think about it, as in the more attention you give to it, as you would give to your breath, as you would give to the dishes, as you would give to your cup of tea, the more attention you give to not thinking about something is the attention that you're giving to that thing. You can't avoid it. You can't avoid something by focusing on the opposite of it. Language creates beautiful connections whereby don't think about X requires the recall of X. And therefore you are already paying attention to it. So what's the alternative? Easiest thing to do is breathe. Focus on your breathing. And when you can master that, when you get better at it, you can then use that same redirection of attention towards other activities, like I mentioned earlier, doing the dishes, having a bath, having a shower, getting changed, listening to music. When you're doing all these things, you can complete the task while being mindful of your breathing. Being curious, compassionate, open, mindful.